Hi there, welcome back to True Gooner, and in this video here we're going to be reviewing Arsenal's West Ham game and other topics to do with Arsenal lately. And we're delighted to join by Kenny Ken. How are you? Right?
Hey, Dave said, thanks for having me on.
That's no problem. It's been a while since I last did a hangout, but we're back now. So there's only one place to start for West Ham victory. It was brilliant, wasn't it, Kenny Ken?
Definitely, I think what's happening is that we start with, I think, going to the ground. I managed to get a ticket and I managed to see quite a few old faces there. And I must say there was like an expectation we're going to win. I think team sheet, they had Mikel Antonio was out injured. You had like Aaron Cresswell out injured. Aaron Carroll's not fully fit. Sacco weren't playing. Everything kind of fall in place. And I think when you got to the ground, there didn't seem to be that sort of passion from the West Ham fans.
Yeah.
I think they were sort of expecting not to get much from the game because of the injuries and because of how well we were playing. But I must say, off in the first 2 minutes, kind of killed West Ham, and I think that's when we managed to grab control of the game. I thought the away fans were just fantastic. I need to have a word. Absolutely brilliant. I've never seen such passion. A lot of people have this impression that Arsenal fans don't have any passion, but you had to be there. Liam, when he comes on, will tell you. But after every goal, it was like a workout, like sort of mobbing each other. Like I said, grabbing each other, running across the aisles to meet their mates on different seats. It's one of those things where even the stewards got involved. It was one of those being at a grand. In saying that, I must say, the first half, I thought we were a bit wasteful. I thought we should have been 2 or 3 up. In the first couple of minutes, you saw the bit where Monreal's got on the sort of side, put a beautiful cross in, and I've lost a bit. Get his foot to it, and he managed to miss Sanchez. There was a couple of occasions before we done it, but the first goal was a mistake by Angelo Buona, the Italian international, where he's been anticipated by Coquelin. Sanchez gets on the ball, finds those all very unselfish, and puts us 1-0 up. I would have thought, like, we were in total control. I forgot to mention West Ham actually had the first chance of going through Lanzini. When Lanzini basically, like, he was on his sort of left. I think he was not very sure of his pace in order to get away from like Koscielny. So what he's done is that he's cut onto his left foot and he's taken the angle. I mean, made it comfortable, safe as check. But in the second half, I thought we came out for we came out very fantastic, very solid. I must say that West Ham had a good chance for Fletcher. Overall, I think what Wenger did is that he played the Ox on the left-hand side in the first half. He was getting in behind the defence, but the final ball was lacking. He switched it. I don't know if you noticed it on TV, but he switched, played the Ox on the right-hand side. And I think that's when the Ox played his best football. I think that's that goal. Because if you look at the second goal again, it's very good play between them. Like I said, for Xhaka, Ozil's got involved, and Alexis Sanchez manages to lose his marker. Like he starts from the lot yards out where he basically overpowers. I think it was who was it? I think it was, I don't know who it was, but I think it was either a one-up. He overpowered them, got away from them, and then when he got on the right-hand side, I looked at that and I thought, hang on, this angle's gone. So I thought he was going to put a cross in, but he's hit it.
Yeah,
put it in the corner of the net. It was an excellent finish, and I think that's when I knew that there was more goals in it. And then 3 minutes later, he scores from the ball spinning, those things where we were playing pinball. I thought at the time we were slowing the game down a bit, but it was a pinball with Ramsey was involved in that chance, and he hits it on the sort of and that kind of this season and ran off for 3-0. And West Ham's goal was a free kick over Payet. I think that's the only thing Payet did, because I think Payet, I must say, on behalf of West Ham fans, I put in terms of like you having to put up a player like Payet, because Payet was just not interested.
Yeah, he was very quiet that day.
No, he wasn't interested. He couldn't. I think what's happened, he threw his toys out of the pram because with a low confidence, he was, riding the crest of the wave last year. But Saturday, I thought he was terrible. And the only thing to note is the free kick, which I think Cech gave up the goals because I don't think he ready for Andy Carroll to sort of capitalise. But I think what he did, it made us angry. Off down the field, Oxlade-Chamberlain caps off a fantastic performance with a fantastic goal from about 25 yards. And then the fifth goal, I don't know. I think I'll let you stew on that one because I think you're very happy with that one. I think I'll let you describe that one.
Oh, I certainly am. Oh, it was just brilliant because the way he controlled that ball was just fantastic because it looked like he was going to do one thing, but he didn't. And then he knew what he was doing. He just knew where the ball was just going. He's a joy to have in the team, and fantastic. And when I watched Match of the Day, Alan Shearer is not convinced that he's a world-class player. And that's nonsense because he is a world-class player. Don't you think, Kenny? He is.
Well, I think what's happened is I think obviously I'm not going to criticise Alan Shearer because who am I to criticise? I mean, the guy scored 260 goals, a Premiership record, and he's won the title with Blackburn.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think what he's trying to say is that he wants his performances to be conducive for us winning the league. I think if we win the league or we get to the semi-finals of the Champions League, I think he might reserve his position because I think you've got to realise that Alan Shearer, he said that there's only one world-class player in the Premiership, and that was Aguero.
Not Sanchez.
You've got to respect his opinion in terms of the fact that Alan Shearer didn't change his view on that. We can all dine out and criticise it and blah blah. Upset, but let's just let like I said, the great man have his opinion, and let Sanchez prove him wrong. The more Sanchez proves, like I said, Alan Shearer wrong, the better for Arsenal, really.
Yeah, that does make a fair point there, but come on, he is a world-class player. Literally I
think undoubtedly. I think Arsenal. If you look at Arsenal, we've got two world-class players.
Three.
Petr Cech.
And Ozil.
Well, I think the jury's out on Ozil. I think Petr Cech is undoubtedly world-class.
Oh yeah.
And we've basically got golden hands, and we've got a very good goalkeeper in Ospina.
He's a brilliant number two. Fantastic number two.
But I don't think he's going to be happy doing that. But I suppose, maybe we can groom, like I said, Martinez, although he hasn't got much going to him. And then obviously Sanchez. I think in terms of Mesut Ozil, for me, I think when people talk about world class, it's unique for me because I think I'm used to world class players grabbing his games by the scruff of the neck, scoring load of goals, and actually winning matches for Arsenal. I'm not sure that Mesut Ozil has done that for us in a while. I know
he's not one of those game changers. He's one of those players that has
game change.
Yeah,
he's not a game changer he should be. He's got world class ability, but to be world class, you can't bandy that sort of player because I think I was speaking. It's funny to say I was actually speaking to John Champion. He's a commentator for used to do it for ITV, and he's like a freelance commentator. I spoke to him a year and a half ago, nearly 2 years ago, and I said, "Who are the world class players out there?" And he said to me that he's been watching football for 25 years, and he says that you can only have a small bracket of world class players. And to be a world-class player, there has to be consistency. And I think in terms of Ozil, the world-class. But are the performances and the match-winning moments there from him? And I have to say no in terms of what I've seen, not just for Arsenal, but I could say the same for Real Madrid and Werder Bremen. He was at Werder Bremen. And when he was at for West Germany, he's a Schalke boy, but he made his name at Werder Bremen. And he got his move from Werder Bremen to Real Madrid and obviously Germany. And I think people in the West German press, I think they want a bit more from Ozil as well. And I think that's where it starts to be a world class player. But obviously, a lot of Arsenal fans happy to connote him as world class. I'm not really of that opinion. I think to anoint someone like Ozil as world class, you have to rewrite the coaching manual over the last 20 and basically add an extra chapter for Mesut Ozil, and I think that's just not appropriate. I think there's still a lot more we can expect from Ozil. I think there's 2 or 3 levels he can go up.
Yeah,
in my opinion, that's only my opinion.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
You do make some very good points there. But yeah, last season I think he has like his break season, standout season for Arsenal when he was just assisting. And what I liked about him was that he started to score more. He started to get more people involved in the game. While before he wasn't really getting settled in. He was struggling to get in, but I think with Sanchez now in the team as well, I think that combination works better with him down the middle with Ozil and Sanchez, with Ozil just behind Sanchez, then Giroud down the middle, because Sanchez just has pace. Well, you need Ozil in the team with a counter-attacking team, so you need pace. And Giroud, he's a good player, but he isn't quick enough to do that. Lucas Perez does have the ability because he is a quick player, but we haven't really seen it of him yet. But obviously, he's only played 3 games. But
I think Sebi's not fit enough. I don't think he's fit enough, and I think what's happening is that for a foreign player, English football is no matter how much you watch the game, when you actually play there, it's quite hell to scale. I think Robert Pires, when he first played in the English league, the first thing he said is that he couldn't believe how fast it was and how there wasn't a break. And I think that's, Lucas Podolski struggled quite a lot with that. In that, yeah. Lucas Podolski, he struggled with that English football as well quite a lot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I think Perez needs to get himself a lot fitter, and he needs being brought in. I think, like I said, I think tomorrow. I think Arsenal should play him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Give him a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Importantly, I think, like I said, there's using for the FA Cup and start easing him in a bit, because I think with Drew still having a groin injury, we give him some game time, but I think he has to get fit though. He doesn't look fit to me.
Yeah, he's only just come back from an injury, and I think he's been rushed back a little bit. I think that's the problem. Perez has been rushed back a little bit, but yeah. Okay, so that's that performance, and on to the Basel game tomorrow. Now, do you think it's a dead game? Because obviously Arsenal have already qualified. We could still top the group, but PSG will have to drop points at home to Ludogorets, which I don't see happening in any way, shape, or form. So what do you see? So what do you seriously think? Do you think it's a dead game, or do you think?
Well, I think well, the thing about it is, I think what's happening is that we're qualified. It just takes its course in terms of the draw. But I think what's happening is that December now is the Christmas period. You've got to realise we don't have Christmas break, so we have to be very careful with players like Alexis Sanchez, even Mesut Ozil, and like some of the midfielders. So there has to be rotation. We know our spinner's going to play, and we know like I said, we've got to use Jenkinson.
Yeah.
But whether he likes it or not, he's got to play. And in terms of defensive, we can use Rob Holding, another education, so where he can learn his trade. I'll play him alongside Gabriel. And then left side, give Kieran Gibbs a game, because Kieran Gibbs is pushing for that left back.
Yeah, he is.
And El Neni, can play El Neni and Xhaka or El Neni, or you could belt El Neni Coquelin, and then you could play. I'll leave that Sanchez. I'll even put him on the bench. I'll tell him to get his rest, and I'll tell Ozil to get a rest, and I'll say, look, Aaron Ramsey, you could play on the sort of the position, just behind.
He's been dying out in that position.
Yeah, and I'll play. I'll play Perez on his. I'll play Perez for, up front in his own. I'll play the Ox on the right hand side, and I'll play Wobie. I think what's happening is you've got to make these guys feel part of the team and the first team. I think that's why a game like that helps. We've already qualified. I don't know. I think there's going to be a time where we're going to get in a red zone with Alexis Sanchez. Much likes to play, and he's got so much energy, but he really is. I think Cazorla has been a quietly leader, but I think in terms of anything else with Alexis Sanchez, I think that really indelible mark in a very negative way in their title charge. Because he really is the player that turns up for us in every game. Even when he's not playing badly, he leads the team. And he's very much, I know Ian Wright said today that he doesn't see many leaders in the Arsenal side. And I think that's probably going to be one of the issues which will stop us from winning the title. Alexis Sanchez, there is leadership. And Petr Cech's a leader as well. And I think that's where one of the things you need to look into is Petr Cech as well. He's got the experience. Alexis Sanchez, leads from the front. And, so we have got a couple of leaders.
Yeah.
Staffy, who, like I said, likes a bit of a G up. He's played high-level football. Not quite first choice for West Germany, but up squad. And he's been around players who can win stuff. So we just have to keep proving people like Ian Wright wrong. It's no good, criticising Ian Wright. He's been in football.
You keep saying that fans are out of order, criticising or slacking off our ex-professionals like Paul Merson and that.
Well, we shouldn't slag them off because simple reasons that at the end of the day, they've got Arsenal's best interests at heart. They play for the club. They've had the passion, and you've got to realise they are professionals. They're not professional Arsenal fans. They're professional pundits. So they have to give their opinion on what they've seen during a match. What's gone in the last 10 years. And really and truly, we haven't given people like, Paul Merson, Charlie Nicholas, Alan Smith and Ian Wright any encouragement to say that things are going to change. And I think we've got to change them ourselves. It's pointless criticising these people.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's pointless because the simple reasons that they're giving their opinion. It's not going to make your life any better by criticising these guys. It's about the players to, earn their spurs. These guys have all won titles, and they know what it's like to win a title. Albeit Ian Wright was injured for most of the season, and the run he wasn't part of it. But he's been around the squad. He knows what it takes. So you've got to listen to these guys and take. They say, like I said, with good grace, and see it as constructive criticism. It's not destructive at all. But look at that, and don't take it personally because it's not personal.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I agree with you there. We have to keep proving everyone wrong. And going back to the Basel game, by the way, I totally agree with the team that you suggested. Definitely rest key players and keep them ready for the most important games. And obviously give the people who don't usually have a big part in the team lately a go and see what they can do. So yeah, I completely agree with you there. But also, this is December now. We've obviously started it off with a bang. We do have an important game this weekend against Stoke before we face two tough away trips to Everton and Manchester City. Now, obviously, the Stoke game this weekend is a must-win game, but Arsenal have been a little bit ropey at home. So, do you think that's a game that we should definitely be aiming to take maximum points to lead us on to these two away games?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think we've got a very good record against Stoke. Stoke have never taken a point off us.
At home, no.
Yeah. As bad as their record is at the Britannia Stadium, Stoke's record is actually dreadful.
Yeah.
Since they promoted in 2008, they never even taken a point.
No, they haven't.
So we should go there with a lot of confidence, and we should be able to win it. One of the bad habits we've had in the last few home games, we've allowed teams to dominate midfield. Not for long periods, but for enough periods for us, our defence because a bit of trepidation on Murray. You can only look at, and that's one of the things we need to stop doing it when we play at the Emirates, is to stop giving teams and be in games when they come to us. I think that term in games like Bournemouth took a lot of encouragement during it. They lost 3-1. They had some very good instances in midfield, and they did get beyond the back four. And Borough did as well. did as well. Tottenham itself was bad, they did as well. And I think it was one of those games where you can't, because we all come unstuck in terms of that. And we've got to remember, Stoke have got some quality players.
At the back, yeah.
Players like Bojan, Josic, they got Matinovic, and they got, like I said, good midfielder as well, Joe Allen. I think he was very unlucky at Liverpool to the extent that Liverpool changed their style on the clock. And I think he resurfaced the requirements, but they've got a very good side, a very useful side. I think if we win the midfield battle like we should do, I think we'll win comfortably. I still think we'll win even if Stoke we're more clinical now, and there are players who will put their hands up.
Oh yeah, goals is definitely an area where we have improved, because last season I thought the reason we fell short was because we were struggling for goals. That we've now got goals around the pitch now, which is really good to see. And also, I noticed at home we've been really struggling against teams that have actually come and defended. Like we saw what happened in Middlesbrough when they came and defended, we struggled. Tottenham, they did actually come to defend quite a bit. We struggled. I think the main reasons we beat Chelsea and Bournemouth because they got their game plan wrong, because they just came to literally attack, and so we left them open at the back, which we took full advantage of it. But Stoke will be doing the same thing here. They usually do come and try and put another 10 men behind the ball and trying to defend. So do you think that we're capable of breaking it down? Of course, we proved that we are capable, but this season we have struggled to do that.
I think you're right. I think what it is with terms of Stoke is that it depends on how Wenger does it on the thing. It'd be preferable if Wenger plays fresh players in terms of our attacking players. It doesn't necessarily have to play a fresh side. We can keep our players fresh. Then what will happen is that even if the moments in the last 20 minutes, we should be able to get behind Stoke and win the game. Tomorrow, yeah. And they're not fresh, they've had their fright, and what will happen is that they'll all fade away, and I think that's the advantages of us getting to the last 16 of the Champions League. We can race players. People who are going out there, I've got the greatest respect for that. But that side we've got is more than good enough to get something if they had the right attitude tomorrow, unlike they had against Southampton. And they're clinical enough. And if we're clinical enough, it gets Basel with the team we've got, because we've got, I said it gives us a bit of boost. Who knows? Ludacris may have a go at Paris. Remember, Ludacris, like I said, if Ludacris can get into the Europa League, that's good financial kick for Bulgarian football, and obviously for themselves in terms of the TV money that's going to be available to them by their continued participation in Europe. So that's a bit of encouragement. But as I was saying before, let's not worry about Paris and Ludacris. Let's do our job against Basel.
We just have to worry about ourselves.
But we have to be realistic. Silver, in my opinion, is the title. Although I won't accept anything other than the semi-finals of the Champions League with the squad we've got.
Yeah.
The title's one of them.
Definitely. And I think that's what we all want.
To be fresh, you've got to realise, right, is that after Stoke, 3 days later we've got Everton. And then 3 days, and then 4 days, 5 days after that is Man City. So we're coming to the December period, during the quick winter period, where games are coming thick and fast. So it's down to the manager to rotate players or fresh, and that's why we don't need players sulking when they're not getting a game involved in these last 6 games up until the FA Cup game against Preston. We're going to need to use all 22 players. Spinner, he's probably going to be the one who's going to have to miss out, because Czech's very much the number one. But in terms of a midfield and forward-thinking players, they need to get the game head on, because these are days. It's not really March or April. These are sort of games can actually give you sort of an indicator whether you're ready to fight for this championship. I think winning at Everton away is going to be hard, but it's a game that we should be winning if we want to win a title.
Definitely.
And obviously we're looking ahead in terms of Man City. And I always say, one game at a time. But the Man City game will take care of itself. But I saw enough against Chelsea to know that Man City are fallible. Midfield, they're fallible and defensively, and they're going to lose a couple of key players because of suspension. So
yeah, Aguero and Fernandinho won't be there. I think they're two very key players to that squad.
Yeah, is that they committed footballing suicide really in terms of like good as against a team as good as Chelsea. If you defend in numbers, you've got to make your chances count because if they hit you on a break, which Chelsea did twice.
Yeah, you're gone.
That's what happened with the second and third goals.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with you there. Also, you're saying that the Premier League is the realistic chance that we've got to win. Do you think that we've now actually got the team and the mentality is right for us to actually go on and push on? Because, of course, Chelsea look strong. Manchester City, even though they have come under a bit of a dip, they are still going to be strong and they are still going to be up there. And even Liverpool, despite them losing this weekend, they have looked decent. So do you actually think we've got the quality to beat those guys?
Yes, because I think what's happening is that our squad in strength and depth is fantastic. And you've got to remember that if with Giroud coming back, he's an experienced player. In midfield, we are going to miss Santi Cazorla.
Yeah.
But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to learn to play without Santi Cazorla. Arsene Wenger needs to solve because that could be conducive to us doing, great things in terms of making a championship challenge and ultimately winning the league. Because the squad's there, we've got the depth and everything. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be winning this title at all. Again, and obviously what we've done before is that games that we normally draw in or lose, normally draw or even lose, because of the quality we've got on the bench, we've got these players that are putting their hands up and coming off the bench to, like I said, either get the equaliser or a late winner. And I think that's where we are strong. November has been one of the major defeats in the league, that is, and Champions League. So I think in that respect, been some frustration playing the fluid football that we played against Watford and Chelsea, and obviously against West Ham the weekend. But one of those things is the result. You can't argue with the results. I'm a bit frustrated with the drop points, but we're not too far away from Chelsea.
No,
we're 3 points behind that. And, it's all about winning games. One thing we are going to have to do is that with Chelsea are winning games, which means they don't look like they're going to drop points and they have to believe they're going to win every game. So we have to match them. And that means really leaving nothing to chance and leaving no margin for error. And therefore, we're going to have to win every game over that period just to keep up with Chelsea. And I think we're more than capable of doing that. Obviously, the Man City games are very difficult, but let's just take care of Stoke. Let's just take care of Basel. There's Stoke. One game at a time. Let's not look far ahead.
Yeah.
We've got to respect the opponents we're playing tomorrow and on Saturday.
Definitely, absolutely. We just have to. I've always said one game at a time, and then go through there. But if we put our best, then who knows what can happen. But yeah, the team is looking good. Just before we wrap this up, earlier today we saw the FA Cup draw, and it's a away trip to Championship side Preston. So, on that, do you think it's a decent draw, or do you think it's a difficult game? What are your thoughts on the draw? Because I'm quite happy with the draw. I
think it depends what Preston are after, innit? I don't know where they're on the league. I don't know whether they're looking for a
championship. 11th in the championship.
I don't know. They're certainly not nowhere near the playoffs, but it depends on what team.
Yeah.
It depends on what team I'm like. But they've got some couple of dangerous players. We know about Jermaine Beckford. We know that he can play. I mean, obviously he had his little with Owen Doyle. But like I said, it's a tricky type because of what's happening is that they're going to play with a lot of passion. But it's one of those games we're going to have to negotiate. We're clearly not going to be playing our full team.
Oh, no.
But again, there's a trophy we won twice. we've got a good tradition with, and I think the fans travelling go for every trophy that's available.
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
that means the FA and the league, and I think that's a game we should take seriously. But
Yeah.
to win comfortably and getting passes in the fourth round.
Yeah, but however, this Preston guy is under Simon Grayson, and we've come up against him before. Remember when we played Leeds in the FA Cup a few seasons ago when we drew 1-1 and Fabregas got that winner. I mean, not that winner, that equaliser to send the tie to replay. He'll be knowledging what Arsenal are like because he'll know our situation. So he's proved that he can do it before. So there is that threat there.
It was a game before your time slightly in 1999 where we were 2-0 down. And in the last half an hour, we managed to get back to 4-2.
Oh, was that the last time we faced him?
I was playing Preston in the cup in 1999. So there's some sort of tradition around, but it was getting ropey at the time. I think that's. But then again, you know who we had? We had some big characters in our side.
Yeah.
And winners who managed to for us. Hopefully, we won't get in that situation where we have to rely on players who don't believe the leaders.
Yeah. But of course, you have to be wary of those championship sides because I remember, I hate bringing up these memories, but I do remember Sheffield Wednesday, Bradford, Rotherham, Doncaster, who all really gave us a tough tie, despite where they are in lower divisions. So we do really have to be careful and not be too complacent, or Preston could punish us. But overall, happy for draw, and I do think is one we should get through. Okay. All right then. All right. I think we'll wrap it. I think we'll wrap the show up there. Thanks, Kenny.
Okay. Thanks for having me on. It's an honour as usual. Need some time, air time.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to have a chat up about the season so far and the upcoming games, and yeah, onwards and upwards. So for those of you, for the Arsenal. For those of you who've been watching the video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And I'll be speaking to you very soon. And stay behind the boys. Come on, you Reds.
Come on, you Reds, mate.